again. I've never been one to rebel, and this freaks me out. Alrighty guys, welcome to another video. So today it's just going to be a bit of a chatting video. I've never done one of these ones before, so that could be a bit interesting, but I'm going to tell you my story today. Focus on like my health and fitness, obviously, because that's the kind of vibe my channel is sort of surrounded by, but I will throw in some other things that I feel are quite important to my growth and development. I was always that really happy, bubbly, running around, dancing, jumping, crazy kid. Like, I loved life. Life was awesome, fun, exciting. Life was to be lived. And I even remember one day talking to mum, and she'd be like, Steph, why are you wearing your most beautiful dress out to the shops? Like, we're just going to the shops. And I'm like, well, why isn't that special enough to wear my nice pretty dress? I like wearing it, so I'm gonna wear it. And that's how I kind of viewed life. It was like every day is a new adventure. Every day is a new chance to have fun, to be different, to be crazy, to be wild. And that's how I lived pretty much all of my prime. Fitness was a big part of who I was. I played pretty much every sport known to man. So I started off, I played Auskick, T-ball, netball, dancing, all types of dancing, so acrobatics, cheerleading, hip hop, jazz, did trampolining for a bit. I was also really good at school, so I flourished when it came to school. Like, I loved to apply myself and challenge myself, and I was that overachiever kid who just front of the mat, hand up, you know, like the one everyone hated. That was me. Had a lot of friends, had a lot of fun. Primary school was probably my glory days, guys. Okay. And then we moved on to high school. Actually moved to a private school for year 7, while some of my friends stayed back and finished primary school as year 7. And so yeah, I was just that small fish again in high school, and super nervous. Like, I started getting a lot of anxiety around school because I just felt so out of place. This in turn went with me injuring myself. So at that point I was doing dancing, acrobatics mainly, about 4 times a week in like a state level, so it was really high level acrobatics, with netball as well. My knees, they weren't coping. I went in for a no-handed cartwheel called Brani, and halfway through my knee something happened. I don't know what happened, it just, the pain, like I didn't land it, I landed right down my hip, and it, like I knew something was wrong. And then it was nothing, I couldn't feel anything, and I was like, tried to get up, tried to walk, couldn't walk. Then we went to the doctors, and the doctor was like, oh no, you've done something like, I don't know, ligament damage or something. You can't walk on it for 2 weeks, you have to stay bedbound. And so the doctor said it, the doctor knows exactly what's right. So I was laying on the couch, not moving. We went to the physio, and the physio was like, okay, so you've got Osgood-Schlatter's disease in your leg. Which, like, it sounds scary. It's just like a growing disease. Like, I was growing super fast, and I was exercising so much that my bones and everything growing just couldn't keep up with it. So what he did was he like strapped it up, and as soon as he did that I could walk. I was like, what is this doctor putting me on crutches saying I can't? Yeah. So anyway, that was my first experience of maybe you need a second opinion. I'd made state team and I wouldn't be able to be in the state. So I was just crying, and it was the first time I felt a heaviness in my chest. Like, I got into a bit of a dark place. That was the first time I got into a dark place ever in my life, and I did not like it. All of a sudden I'm like, I'm not moving, I'm a blob, I must be gaining weight, like I don't like how I look in my clothes and everything. I was like 12, guys. Also in turn with all that new stuff at school, like school was giving me so much anxiety and I didn't want to go. I didn't like it. I didn't think I fit in. I started getting more into my health, like healthy eating, healthy cooking. When I was 12, 13, I went vegetarian and I started becoming sort of the person I super am today. So like, I didn't really like going out as much. I didn't enjoy parties as much because obviously they were coming into high school parties. Yeah, I liked being at home and I liked watching MasterChef and I liked watching cooking shows. A lot of people just couldn't relate to that. I had to put on a different person when I was at school with my friends. Like, I had to be the teenage girl. Wasn't really back into my fitness at all and not following the best vegetarian diet either because I didn't know what I was doing. I was so young and mum had always cooked for me. So my diet would consist of white pasta, cheese and baked beans, carbs, and like I remember being a kid and loving my fruits and veggies, and then I sort of just like went out of it and substituted my fruit snacks and veggie snacks with iced tea and Nutella on toast. And I remember coming home from school for weeks and weeks with this new obsession with this peanut butter choc milkshake thing, which was literally vanilla ice cream, banana, chocolate powder of some kind and milk, and that was my afternoon snack. And after that it was pancakes with butter and sugar. So yeah, I didn't follow a good strong vegetarian diet and my body started to fight back a bit. Chronic fatigue and all that kind of stuff from this sugar addiction I had. So I'd go to school, get through the day, just like falling asleep, all that kind of stuff, and then get home and just collapse on the couch and just like literally I could have fallen asleep right then and there. And then it would get to bedtime and I wouldn't be able to sleep. I suffered from pretty extreme insomnia for a good few years during my middle school. I would lay there. It was, it hurts looking back at it because it was such a yucky time. But I remember just sitting there and then having to go to mum's room and be like, I can't do it again, I can't do it again. Like, I was in tears. Oh my god, now I'm in tears again because I just remember that painful time. And I was like, Mum, like, what is this? What's happening to me? Like, why can't I function? Like, I remember waking up one morning after maybe like an hour's sleep and mum would be like, come on Steph. She'd take me to her bathroom and she'd put foundation under my eyes because I couldn't go to school with the black lines under my eyes. Like, it was bad. But no one knew. Like, that was my other thing. I wouldn't tell anyone. I wasn't eating right. I didn't have energy. I didn't have a fitness regime. I had extreme anxiety going to school, and it's a bad combo, guys. Like, suck it all together and you're just gonna spiral down. And so I remember year 8, mum took me to a psychologist because she's like, look Steph, I was having like anxiety attacks, panic attacks, especially in the afternoon when I knew we were getting closer to bedtime, and I didn't want to go there. I wanted to just stay doing things, taking my mind off things. She'd already put me on some meds, like antidepressant meds, just to help try to take me out of this. Honestly, I don't remember if they worked or not. And I hated medication. I've always hated medication. So because of all the stress and anxiety and hormone issues that were going on, I was already very, very slim. So even though I wasn't exercising right or anything, I was bone, non body or something, and all the girls were in there and I was in there, and I saw these bright pink running shorts. My first ever running shorts, because I remember going to the doctor and the doctor's like, you need to wear yourself out if you want to sleep, which is ridiculous. I wasn't sleeping because of a ridiculous amount of hormone issue, everything, blah. It wasn't because I wasn't tired enough. Home, and it must have been like just after that, I started getting into running. After school, I'd run for maybe like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, just around the block, just around my house. And I liked the feeling. That was my biggest thing with exercise, was I've always enjoyed the feeling and the rush I get from exercising. Get addicted to it, and running kind of brought that back. Started getting better. Like when I got into running, I started reading more about nutrition and exercise and how important it is to get the right nutrition to make sure I can run better, to last longer, to feeling better, feeling stronger, and sleeping better. Like that was, things started to go back in place. Also, it needs to be mentioned, in year 9 when I hit that rock bottom, weight loss, everything lost, blah, I'd lost my period as well. So I got my period in year 7 and I lost it year 9. Very slim. It didn't come back on its own, and that's when we also decided to see like a gynecologist to figure out what's going on. Had an operation, and then I couldn't exercise again. That was a long recovery period, and I just got into fitness again, and it was back down spiral. I was just a little dip. Got into my love of food photography and food writing, and I started my food blog, Steph to Chef, when I was about 14 or so. I loved it. I loved all the smoothies and the oats and just the crazy random creations I was creating. When I could get back into fitness, I was in a much better space nutritionally, mentally, everything like that. 10, I think I started to maybe like thrive a bit more. I got some positions in school, like I got to be a counselor, like a peer counsellor, to help like the new year 7s. I was still doing really well in school. I was getting awards and great grades. I was getting back into my fitness. I started having a look at other things other than running. I looked at, my first person I followed was these 2 twins. I can't think of the name, but they had just like 20-minute workouts that I'd literally do in my pajamas in my tiny little box room downstairs in the morning. And if I didn't want to do that, I'd do Fight Master yoga for about 20 minutes. First time I joined the track team or cross country team was year 10. I made the team, went to inter-school, competed, and my body adapted and got stronger and stronger and stronger, and I just kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and things started looking up. Like I remember sitting a test for a senior school scholarship at my school and getting that, winning the scholarship. I belonged a bit more, and then year 11 was the year I was fortunate enough to go to Tanzania in Africa with the school. That was life just being like, Steph, look at this. My eyes were finally open to the world a bit more. I saw that the happiest people were the people who had nothing, and when I came back, we were so unhappy with our lives, so miserable. And I think that was the first time I finally got my spark and sunshine back, was seeing life through that lens of, you don't need stuff and money, you just need community. I think from that moment was when I just decided to go all in with life. I chucked old Steph away. I appreciate all that she gave to me because she made me stronger as a person, because I'll never go back there. because I know how bad it is and I know how much stronger I am because of it. And then I was like, you know what, now we're just gonna live this is my life and I'm gonna live it how I want things. So I just went for it. I went for things. So year 11 was the first year I got champion girl in cross country. First year I went to inter-school and competed hard. I went for head girl as well for year 12, my final year. I had the self-doubt. I was like, there's no way, but there was that bit in me that was like, there is 100% a way, and I got it. So I was head girl. I won champion girl in year 12 as well. So I was cross country captain for the year, as well as being on the student council and running different things. I was also a leader of a Bible study group as well. Like I was all in, guys. Like I was living life, and my grades are still quite really good. That was a steep up. The thing about mental health issues is that they don't always just disappear. Life can be that amazing and that great that they don't always just go away. So where I sort of felt like I was most thriving, it actually came back, and it can come back in different forms as well. So it came back into my life in the form of obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD, and that was my year 12 experience. Was I suffered from almost debilitating OCD, where I would walk into a room and I'd have to turn the light off and on and off and on until it felt right, or I had to, if I span around, I had to unspin around because that had to balance out, or else something bad would happen. Like I wouldn't pass WACE, which is like our final exams. Something bad would happen. Like I'd embarrass myself when I was giving a speech. No one would have known because I was in that whole thriving thing, and fitness was still there. Like I was still loving it, and all of this, I was doing all my fitness stuff at home, and a lot of the time I did just body weight. So I'd follow all these YouTubers and still bloggalatis, and I loved it. I loved fitness, and I was so into nutrition as well, and cooking, and my blog. Yeah, we made it through. We got to the end of the year. I got a really, really high ATAR, which I was so stoked about, but it wasn't for me. It was for everyone else. Like it was almost like that ATAR was for me to be able to show that to everyone else, because I couldn't care less about that number. But I needed that justification of, yes, Steph, you're amazing, outstanding. So I also received a scholarship for university. Like you could be a doctor, you could be a lawyer, you could do anything. But I knew that from my whole experience, like from the past few years and my trip away and everything, was I want to be happy in my life, and my job is something I'm going to be doing every day, and I want that to be something I love doing. I remember graduating and like after that, like the day after or something, cutting off all my hair till it was like about here, and being like, the schoolgirl's gone, like this is new Steph. University was good, but it was very broad. It wasn't very nutrition-y at the minute. So I was going through that, and I think that's when I really got into my Instagram properly. I had never ever rebelled in life or gone against what was expected of me, or I was always that cookie cutter perfect person. Something in me was just kind of like, no, surprise them, show them who you really are. I was dropping all the weight again. I still had not regained my period. I was, like most girls are, put on the pill to get it back because it was healthy, and then when I started learning more about that, I went off the pill because I hate pills and hormone stuff like that. It's just, I don't believe in it personally. I was skin and bone. I had bruises bruises up and down my spine, on my lower back. When I did ab exercises, I was cold all the time. My hair was thinning, my nails were blue, my lips were blue. Work out for like 2 hours every morning, no food in me. But I was abusing myself with exercise. And my first half marathon, looking back at those pictures, I was not healthy. And I'd also started my Cert 3 and 4 in fitness. And so part of that was filming like some programs I had to do run-throughs of and stuff. And I remember looking back at them and being like, I look skeletal. And I don't like how I was really getting good at losing weight. And when I get good at something, I really like being good at something. Half the time I didn't like the way I looked in clothes, in things like that, but I didn't have a shape, I didn't have a booty, I didn't have boobs, I didn't have anything. And again, I needed a slap in the face. And my slap in the face was going vegan. Most people would be like, that's more like a restriction diet or something. Going vegan got me to gain about 8 to 10 kilos more. Not because of the vegan diet, but because I knew I had to take my health seriously and eat enough and exercise less and let my body rest and look after it. Look strong, and I wanted to look healthy, and so I ate properly. I saw the light go back into my face. I saw my face get a bit more rounded, which a lot of people would say, no, that's not good, but I didn't like the sucked in cheekbones. I like the roundy face, and I like the sparkle in my eyes, and I like my thicker hair. I saw like my legs are bigger, my arms are bigger. Maybe I can't see my abs as defined as they used to be, but they're there and they look strong and healthy. I finished my cert, and I remember talking to my mentor, always complaining to him, being like, no one's hiring me, no one wants me and stuff. And he goes, you make them want you, you make it happen, you call them up and say, this is why you need me. So I remember going home that day, it was at the beginning of this year when I just finished my Cert 4 in PT, and I called up an F45. That very afternoon they called back and said, yep, come in for an interview the next day, and I did, and I got the job at an F45 as an F45 trainer. It's been so enjoyable, so fun for me, and it's reignited my love for fitness, because I obliterated my love for fitness with burning out and training. It's everyday movements, squats, deadlifts, shoveling, farmers carries, mountain climb, like it's everything I love. And the best part was the community, that family vibe. In uni as well of nutrition, because I still wasn't doing nutrition. Like that was kind of killing me. I was doing a lot of chemistry. I don't like chemistry. So I mean, if I didn't have the F45, I don't know if I'd have got through. So F45 was like this little saving angel for me. It gave me a light and a passion. I really started thinking about my future a bit more. And so this brings us up to about now. 3 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I just thought about going back to uni. And I thought I could picture myself there in this big uni with thousands and thousands of students. I wasn't happy again for another semester. I didn't want to do it. My friend had told me about this college in the city that focused on natural holistic medicine a lot. They had a nutrition and dietetics degree, Bachelor of Health Science, in line with my beliefs and values of natural holistic health, passionate and driven towards. So, and I've never been one to rebel, and this freaked me out, but it just feels right. I am deferring from Curtin University nutrition degree, and I'm transferring to Endeavour College. I know so many people don't understand it, because my family didn't really understand it. My mom did, she's always supported me, but yeah, like I've been told I'm joining a cult, I've been told I'm wasting my life, like just finish my degree, just get a degree. At the end of the day, this is my life and this is what I want, and the world is so much bigger than just a cookie cutter standard of Steph. So yeah, that's where we are now. 19 years old. My fitness is probably the healthiest and strongest it's ever been. My nutrition has been the most fun it's ever been, and now my happiness is getting right back up to that sunshiny Steph. That's me in a bit of a nutshell. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you stayed till the end, I give you mad props for that. You are insanely awesome, and I'm so excited for the future because this is how I want to live, and I'm loving it. As always, stay sunny, be your own sunshine, make your own sunshine, and happy day.